Have you ever had that feeling like there's this whole secret code to conversation? A hidden layer where what people mean isn't quite what they say? Well, guess what? There is. And in this explainer, we're going to crack it wide open. All right, let's jump right in with a classic. Just picture this scene. Virginia asks her friend Mary, "Do you like my new hat?" And Mary, she just replies, "It's pink."
Pink. I mean, okay, that's a fact, right? It's not an opinion. It's not a yes. It's not a no. So the huge question here is, what does Mary really mean? That little exchange right there is the puzzle we are going to solve together. To figure this whole thing out, we need to grab our first clue. Think of it as the unseen foundation of pretty much every single conversation we ever have. And that foundation, it has a fancy name, presupposition. But don't worry, it's actually super simple. It's just all the stuff we assume the other person already knows. The shared background info we don't even bother saying out loud because we just take it for granted.
We see this in action all the time. For example, if someone says to you, "Please take me to the circus again," what are they assuming you already know? What's the hidden information packed into that sentence?
Exactly. The presupposition is that you've been to the circus before. That one little word, again, it's loaded with all this unspoken history. It's like the invisible bedrock holding up the whole sentence.
Okay, so presupposition is our first tool in the detective kit. But to really solve our hat mystery, we're going to need something a bit more powerful. So let's dig into our second clue, the hidden message.
This one's called conversational implication. Yeah, I know, it's a mouthful, but the idea behind it is so simple. It's just the extra meaning, the stuff that fills the gap between what someone says and what they actually mean. It's basically how we all read between the lines. Here is a perfect example. So, imagine person A says, "Hey, I hope you brought the bread and the cheese." And person B just goes, "Ah, I brought the bread." Pay really close attention to what's missing there. See? By only mentioning the bread, person B is sending a secret message. The implicature is, I did not bring the cheese. They never had to say it out loud, but we all heard it, right? Loud and clear. And this is where it gets really cool, because context is everything. Look at this. In both scenarios, Jean says the exact same thing. "Well, Mark's got those dogs now." But when Phil asks about a barbecue, what she means is, "Nope, not going." When he complains about the garden, she means, "Yeah, the dogs probably wrecked it." Same words, totally different hidden meanings. How cool is that? So how does this work so perfectly? I mean, how do we all just know how to do this? It's not like we're taught it in school. Well, it turns out we are all, without even realizing it, playing by a set of 4 unspoken rules. This is the master key to the whole code. This whole idea comes from a philosopher named Paul Grace. He called it the cooperative principle. And it's really just a simple fundamental assumption that when we talk to each other, we're trying to be helpful. We're trying to make sense and move the conversation forward together. So this big principle boils down to 4 simple rules, or maxims. First, quality. Just be truthful. Second, quantity. Don't say too much or too little, just give the right amount of info. Third, relevance. Stay on topic. And fourth, manner. Be clear, not confusing. Okay, so we've got these 4 rules. We all follow them, right? Well, here's the twist. This is the real secret. The magic trick of conversation is that we create these hidden meanings by breaking the rules on purpose. So here's how it goes down. Step 1, someone says something that just seems off. Maybe it's totally irrelevant, but instead of just thinking, "What?" your brain goes to step 2. You assume they're still trying to be cooperative. And that forces you into step 3. You start searching for the real meaning, the hidden message. You hunt for the implicature. Okay, let's try another one. Person A asks a super simple question. "Hey, where's Bill?" And person B replies, "There's a yellow VW outside Sue's house." Now, on the surface, that answer makes 0 sense, right? It seems totally irrelevant. But because we assume person B is trying to be helpful, our brain starts connecting the dots. If we happen to know that Bill drives a yellow VW, suddenly that random comment isn't random at all. The implicature is crystal clear. Bill's probably at Sue's house. Breaking the rule is what forced us to find the real meaning. All right, we've got our tools, we've got the rule book, and we know the secret is all about breaking those rules. It's time. Let's go back and solve the mystery of the pink hat.
So here we are, back at the beginning. Virginia asks, "Do you like my new hat?" And Mary says, "It's pink."
Let's put our detective hats on. Virginia asks a simple yes or no question. Mary's answer, "It's pink," completely shatters the rule of relevance. She's not answering the question at all. So what do? We assume she's still cooperating. She's probably just trying to be polite, and that means we have to look for the hidden meaning. And what is it? Well, the implicature is pretty clear. She doesn't like the hat, but she's trying to be nice about it. Boom, code cracked.
And really, that's it. Just those two key ideas, presupposition and implicature. They unlock this entire secret world happening right under our noses in every conversation.
So, why should you care about any of this? Well, because understanding this hidden code is like gaining a superpower. It doesn't just make you a cool conversation detective, it makes you a way more empathetic and effective communicator. You start hearing what people aren't saying, and let's be honest, that's often the most important part.
So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you know this secret code, what hidden messages are you going to pick up on in your next conversation? Listen closely.